This is the state that they will give us. It's like a Swiss cheese, really. Who among you will accept a similar state and similar conditions?
Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas angrily rejects U.S. President Donald Trump's Middle East peace plan. Hello, I'm Anand Naidu, and this is The Heat. In a speech before the United Nations Security Council, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas urged President Trump to disavow his Mideast peace plan and seek a return to negotiations based on existing UN resolutions. Those resolutions call for a two-state solution, broadly following pre-1967 borders. For more, we turn now to CGTN's Stephanie Freid in Tel Aviv. And Stephanie, we understand that this plan gives the Israelis much of what they've been asking for, but fill in the blanks for us. Why is this plan so controversial, and what's been the reaction to it?
Well, Anand, there are a lot of controversial points to the plan, but I'll just highlight a few. First of all, regarding Jerusalem, while the plan talks about Jerusalem as a capital of a future Palestinian state, Israel's going to maintain most of the control over Jerusalem in this plan, and the capital wouldn't even be in Jerusalem for the Palestinians. It would be in an outlying area, not even East Jerusalem. Another main point, annexation. It gives Israel the green light to go ahead and annex parts of the occupied West Bank, settlements in the occupied West Bank, plus the Jordan Valley. Huge point of contention. Gives Israel about 30% control of the West Bank. Huge point of contention, not only with Palestinians, also with Jordan. And then one of the big, let's say the elephant in the room is the elephant, as I've said, that's not in the room, which is the main partner for peace, the Palestinians. They rejected this plan from the get-go. They haven't been part of this plan. They haven't been part of drafting it. And the main points that they've always said that they want to be included in any future peace plan just aren't there for them. So that when we hear President Abbas talk about Swiss cheese, that's what he's talking about. Also the fact that a future state would be non-contiguous. It would be sliced up in different areas with settlements and Jewish areas, or Jewish settlements and Israel areas in between. Very messy, according to the Palestinians. You asked about the reaction. The reaction, let's say, certainly within Israel's right wing and Israel's religious sector, very positive, very happy about this plan, trying to push it through as quickly as possible. On the other side, the Arab League unanimously rejected it. Turkey and Jordan have also condemned it. Iran has called it treasonous. There have been protests throughout the region over this announced plan. And there's been an uptick in violence in the West Bank and in Gaza. So those are just some of the reactions to the plan, Anand.
Right, Stephanie, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, he's facing a trial on corruption charges and an election in just a few weeks. What happens to this proposal should the Prime Minister lose both fights?
Good question, and it really would depend on who would come into power. Again, like I said, this upholds a right-wing and religious sort of line of their positions, this plan. Now, Benny Gantz, who is the Blue and White Party's leader, and he is Benjamin Netanyahu's chief rival, he flew to Washington, met with U.S. President Trump a day before this plan was announced, and then publicly said that he will support it if he comes into power as a future prime minister. What he says publicly versus what would happen down the road, who knows? Many say that this was a plan that was built to never actually get off the ground, that it's a non-starter, and that it's a pressure tactic or rather it's a popularity tactic for both Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu headed into for political pressure or to rally points with their sides. But regarding pressure, already now right-wing settlers are putting pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu to start implementing this plan, even though the U.S. administration is saying, hang on a second, let's wait till after Israel's elections. So there are a lot of different aspects, and it's impossible to really say what would happen to the plan. But many say, again, Anand, that it was a non-starter from the start.
Thanks, Stephanie. That's CGTN's Stephanie Freid reporting from Tel Aviv. Well, there is